Welcome to Soul Talk, a podcast founded and created by Monica Ramirez, the Warrior of Love. Soul Talk was created in 2020 when a pandemic hit and we were in lockdown. She wanted to have exciting conversations with open-minded people so they could understand different aspects of herself and she could help others in the same way. She interviews healers, coaches, therapists, psychics, readers, channelers, mediums, intellectuals, poets, artists, and more. She calls it Soul Talk because it started as a conversation from soul to soul.
Hello, Warrior of Love community. My name is Braden Ricketts, and I'm extremely honored today as I get to co-host, guest host the Warrior of Love podcast with the Monica Ramirez, as we're going to interview Monica to find out more about her and more about the Warrior of Love movement. I know that you've been listening to the show for a while. It has given you insights and has helped you become your best you. So we're going to find out what has driven Monica to be here doing this work and ask some insightful questions. Monica, thank you for having me on your show.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate.
So I would love to start off by asking you, in your own words, how do you describe the Warrior Love movement?
Well, Warrior of Love, it was a name that was given from my guides to me. It was around 2016 when I've been asking for my name because I've been in many Zoom dances and the American Indians, all of them have a spiritual names. And it was like, I want one, I want one. I was in that time in competition and comparing myself and not feeling that I deserve something and they didn't give it to me then. And I really appreciate for that. When it was a lot of personal work that I had to go through, healing myself, that going to deep emotions. I was with lupus, RA, and fibromyalgia. That's when I start healing myself. That's when my higher self, present herself, and tell me you're warrior of love. Like what do I do with this? Like I thought like ego flying or something like that. I don't know, butterfly or I don't know. It's her name to catch up, but it was warrior of love. And she told me, well, you have to put it on. You have to learn to love yourself. You have to learn actually to expand this. And when you actually put it on, dress up with that, that's when you can let it go if you want. Or you can keep it. That's going to be your choice. And I keep it because I learned to put it on. I learned to love myself. I learned to appreciate the person that I became, to all that and healing myself. So now that's who I am now, Monica Ramirez, Warrior of Love.
And that is something that you also support others with going through the same journey and the same process. How does that come about for your work?
Well, after I healed myself, at the beginning when I started studying NLP and all the certifications, life coach and PQH and all the certifications, I was trying to heal me. And that's why I did it. It was in a very selfish way you want to put it. But my friends that knew me before, when I was sick, when I couldn't get up from bed, when I was swollen and crying for pain, they saw that change. They saw that Monica was not depressed, that Monica was having energy, that even my face changed, everything, all my being changed, and they started asking me how you did it. And people, it's like, can you help me? I have the same pains, I have the same depression or the same lupus or the same, how do you did it? So that's when I was already a Reiki master. I started doing Reiki to them and I realized that it was way more than doing Reiki to them. It was more an emotional part, more than only the energetic part. So that's when I started going more into the mind. That's why I studied NLP. I studied actually twice. And one in England and one in New Zealand. And that's when I studied also the life coaching and so forth. That's where it attracted me more because it was more about, for me, in my guidance, it was telling me it was the emotional part that it creates and heal. And I started helping first my friends, and then after my friends, I start helping other people now work all around the world.
Wow. Helping so many people around the world with the gifts that you've learned for yourself and how they can develop them for themselves.
The thing is, I am not more special than anyone. We all have these special gifts, but we just forgot. They were always there. But the thing is, part of the system of the programs that we have is not to believe in ourselves. And when we start believing in ourselves, that's when we can start creating actually the life we want, or we can heal. And I know the systems tell you, I remember many times the doctors tell me, lupus is going to kill you. We just wanted to check which organ is going to go first, your heart, your liver, your lungs, or what. And if you don't take this pill, we can't control it, so you're going to go faster. And it was cortisol. And it's like cortisol is going to, I'm going to have problems with my heart. Like, which is going to kill me first? It's like, well, we're going to see. That was very risky, and more when you were having a 5-year-old at home. It's like, am I gonna leave my daughter alone at 6 or 7 years old? It's like, I cannot afford that. When I create my change and I start becoming me first, that's when I realized that I was being the victim of my own life. I have chose to have compassion from everybody, a sickness that it was easier to kill me than actually to grab a gun and actually shot me, because I was too depressed at that time. So first of all, I was needing to fall in love with life. And I start doing that. I start falling in love with the same air, everything around me. I start loving who I was, who I become. And the judgments of others, it did not affect me at the same time, because it had nothing to do with me. And I start becoming free.
Freedom, that's what we're chasing, that
Yes.
feeling. So you've been able to discover that process for yourself to get to that point and that feeling. How do you support your clients in doing the same thing?
Well, one of the best techniques that I have learned to help transform me was the NLP. I'm not going to deny that my guidance is always there and it's always guiding me. But NLP is always teach you this. Ask the first question is, what do you want? And the majority of the human beings do not know what they want. Every time I sit down with a client, they tell me 10,000 things that they don't want. But to focus them in what they want, it can take me a while. Sometimes one session, sometimes half a session, because that's the hardest part, is like, what do you want? And once you know what you want, you can follow the path is already done. We just have to see what obstacles, what limitations you have, so we can work on those, but you already know where you're going.
Right. You have to have that North Star that's guiding you in that direction that you're headed. So you have a program that helps people figure that out and start taking some steps on that journey.
Yes, I created a program that is called Path to the Path to the Heart. And it goes in the first level, it is to letting go the shame, the blame. Letting go a level of fears. It goes because it goes in different levels. And also start believing in yourself, getting out of being the victim, because that's how we create the life that we don't want. But we feed from that. In the moment we start realizing that we can let it go, that's in the first level. We start transforming our lives, and actually we start living the life that actually we want. Then you have the second level that is going a little bit more woo-woo, that we're talking about past lives, regressions, we do a soul retrieval. We do also family lineage, removing sexual energy from past lovers, because all that is energy we're carrying with ourselves that sometimes limit us, so we can move forward in whatever we want. In the third level, I go to completely woo-woo. That's my area that I like to be in. I play a lot in there. That is channeling. And there are different kinds of channeling. And I like to teach them all, and how to play with that multidimensional energy in ourselves. And that's when you start seeing magic actually happening. And you start observing life in a different way, because you are going to learn how to become the observer of everything that's around you, that everything has a message for you. You start developing your magical gifts, because everybody have it. It's not only me. Everybody have them. We just have to practice those, like exercising the legs and getting the muscles stronger. You need also to practice your gifts that you have and developing others if you want. I do play in that level with a lot of telepathy with my students, so they learn how to do these kind of things, because when we're connecting to multidimensional beings, They communicate a lot of times in telepathy.
You must hear some incredible messages as you support people in connecting to higher beings.
Yes, I do. Like I remember one time when I was still doing the Reiki. I believe that was the last time I did the Reiki. And flatbed, my client was laying down and immediately start hearing my guides take the rods out of the head. And I was like, what? What is the rods? I don't see any rods. It's like, just put your hands in the head and start getting out of the rods and start connecting to the pineal gland. And it was like, okay, yes, I just start following instructions, what I was doing. And the client felt great. I did not knew I did a traditional Reiki, but besides I did that. When my client left, she left great. She was feeling amazing. I asked him, what is this about? Well, then it came to right away a message. When we ask, we always get the answers. And right away they sent me a message that my ancestors, the Mayas, they used to do this to their kids since they were babies. They connected. That was the auras that we see in the paintings. They were connected. That's the rods that we all human beings have from our ears, from the top of our head, from our third eye to our this part, and they were connecting us precisely with the universe and with everything around.
Wow.
And I would never know that if I was not being guided.
Wow. So the guides support a lot of the work that you do?
Yes, they do. They're amazing. They support everybody.
Yeah. What are your practices to maintain that connection and allow it to be powerful and impactful in the work that you're doing?
The first thing I do in the morning is when I wake up, when I open my eyes, I give thanks. I give thanks for the same life. I give thanks for everything that I have, everything that I am, and for all the things that I'm going to learn too at the same time. I always have that door open because there's always something that you're going to learn in the day. There's So I used to live in the Groundhog Day that we were appearing the same day, and it gets depressing and horrible. So that's why I give thanks for all the experience that are going to be new in that day that I'm going to be learning, because I don't want to be living that day again. And then after that, I do my breathing. Well, right now that I'm in over here in Puerto Vallarta, I've not been doing a lot of the practice that I do, except giving thanks. That's something that I always do. And we've been guidance meditation that I do my kind of meditations sometimes because I have a lot of things to do. It takes me around 15 minutes. I don't take too long, and I get ready and so forth. And I'm connected all the time, and I'm trying to listen all the time to my guides. They're all the time making jokes, in fact, and telling me we have arguments. What color I'm going to paint the painting? It's like, no, paint it red, no, paint it blue. And we have arguments. It's like having another human being next to you, but in your head.
It sounds like fun. And
it was not always fun. I was married to an atheist, Orthodox atheist that did not believe in that. So I was being judged that I was crazy, that I was many names and so forth from my family too. I have to let go everything so I can actually believe in myself. And I know I'm not crazy. If someone wants to think about it, I really don't care. That's their problem thinking about it. Yeah. But I learned to honor that part of me.
What is the movement you're creating with the Warrior of Love?
I want to think that I'm helping others to connect to their higher guidance. I want to think that I'm helping them transform to become the same observers and waking up their own magical gifts that we all have. I'm not the only channeler. Every single human being is the channeler. But they just forgot. That intuition that they receive, that synchronicity that they always receive, that's the guidance. If they put attention, if they believe enough in themselves, they're going to be guided. So I'm just the connector and learning to love themselves. And because we carry so much guilt, shame, and blame everybody, that can get us sick and not enjoying the life that we can have. I want to think that I am one of the guidance, because I'm not the only one. We're many people that we're guiding. So we can all ascend together and wake up as many people as they want, because we can't force this. This is a matter of choice. And I have learned that in the hard way, that we can't force anyone. It doesn't matter, it's our own kids. It is a choice. And it's painful sometimes that you can't do anything. I learned all these techniques and I thought, oh, I want to heal my family. But that doesn't work like that. Is everybody has to choose or not.
Mhm. Yeah. And for those ready to get started, you have a book coming out?
Yes, it is coming out from Path to the Heart. Is from it will be the first level that I'm talking about. The precisely letting go the shame, the blame, the guilt, so like that they can empower the people themselves.
Mhm.
And it's coming out in December, and it's gonna be on Amazon soon. I will be posting all the links for my book.
Beautiful. What will people be able to obtain having read your book and joining your program? You've mentioned the skills, the abilities. How will their life change?
Well, I like to give exercises all the time and practice. You read it. You read the book, so I like to give all the time guidance and also practices, things that you can do by yourself. And that's how I even teach my classes when I'm teaching them, because yes, you can read the best book, but if you don't have something to anchor that knowledge, it's just gonna be another book that you forgot in a few months.
Absolutely.
But if you actually work with those exercises, you can transform your life.
Yeah.
And that's the goal of my book.
Yeah, you provide the actual application of the work into your life. There's practices, there's tools. It's there so that these things are not just a concept, they can be integrated and they're part of your days. That's beautiful. What does the audience not know about you that would be surprise and a delight?
And usually, it's a good question, because usually I am an open book that I I I learned that everything that I have lived, that's why I'm open book. All the choices that I have done, they have took me to different places. Some of them they were horrible. Some of them were wonderful, but each one was a learning lesson for me. And I learned that all those lessons that they took me to those dark places, I can help my clients in whatever they are. I've been beaten. I've been thrown away. And those were choices that I did. I can't say that even the time that my ex-husband used to beat me, it was a horrible man. It was, no, I choose him. I choose to marry him. I'm responsible of that. And I left him also. I'm responsible of that too. But I was lacking having compassion in that time. So that's why I chose that lesson. Of course, we're talking about soul level.
Mm-hmm.
Consciously, you tell any woman like, "Hey, do you want to get married with the next one?" And they're gonna beat you. They're gonna say, "No." Of course, if you ask me now, I said no. But I did choose that because I was lacking compassion for women that they were choosing to getting beaten by their husbands until it happened to me.
Mm-hmm.
So I am an open book in my content. I always talk about all the things that I have learned, everything that I talk about it in the speeches about where I come from a narcissist family, how I have to believe in myself. And those were lessons too that I choose to be born in the family I was born.
If somebody wants to access the work that you do, what are the different modalities? What are the different ways that people can work with you?
I have coaching one-on-one, and it's more personalized in that way. If someone wants to work with a specific and not with a group and specific traumas that they have, I have worked with people that are almost suicidal. If, of course, if they're taking risk with themselves, I have to send them with a doctor. I cannot treat them. The same applies for schizophrenics. If we're past certain limits, they have to go with a with a different kind of doctor. I always relate that to those cases, but I have worked with people who have OCD, PTSD, depression, bipolar. I have worked with all, but someone already diagnosed them. I am not trained for being diagnosed to anyone or give prescribed medication to anyone. So I work in those levels, or women that have been beaten, or men too. I have encountered that too, and they're simply looking for believing in themselves. And that's the majority of the human beings, because it is ingrained in our society to lose that.
Mm-hmm.
In the moment I start, I that's one way to work with me. And I also have many times, so I have coaching that is in groups, that it goes right now, and having a program that is open for the level 2 and level 3. It's called Activation in Multidimensional Energy, and it's an evergreen. And I have also in online the Path to the Heart level 1, and my book, of course, coming, that it is for letting go shame and blame, and start loving yourself, and start letting go that competition and envy and so forth in that level. So there are many ways they can work with me, or simply a therapy one-on-one. I have that too.
So that was one-on-one group, online Path to the Heart program, and your book that's coming out.
And I have couples therapy too.
And couples therapy. How does a listener interested in working with you access those supports?
Well, they can check me my website, that it is Monica Ramirez, warrioroflove.com. And in there I have all my services, where my classes are, my programs that I am having, my therapies at the same time, or my podcast. In my podcast also they have access to many of my teachings, or I interview experts that they talk about the same theme as I do. Soul Talk.
Monica, what do you love most about this work that you do?
In reality, is helping others and see that transformation in their faces and in their aura. There's nothing that actually make me more happy.
That's beautiful. No wonder you call yourself a transformation coach.
Yes.
Thank you so much for having me on today to learn more about you and share who you are with your audience. Is there any final words you'd like to share?
Oh, yes. Don't forget to love yourself. The change is in you, and you have to make the choice. No one can do it for you.
Wonderful. Well said. Well, Warrior of Love community, you know Monica Ramirez, but now you know her even better. Check her out at her website. Grab some coaching. This woman is absolutely amazing. You will benefit from every moment you spend with her. Until next time, enjoy.
Thank you.